Welcome to downtown Baltimore's newest theater. It's called the Chesapeake Shakespeare Theater, and yes, they're going to be doing plays that Shakespeare has written. One of the cool parts, this building wasn't always a theater, and we're going to find out a lot more about that when we talk to the director and this building's many incarnations.
The building was originally built in 1886, and it is known as a treasure of Romanesque architecture. It was built as the Mercantile Trust and Deposit Building, and it was where all of wealthy Baltimore kept their stuff, not just their money and bonds, but also their furs, their jewels, their carpets, and their china when they went up to their summer houses in Roland Park. When we came to see it, it had been closed as a bank for about 10 years and had been turned into a nightclub. So the first thing we saw were sticky floors and a DJ stand, but after we got over that, we noticed the fabulous ceiling and the amazing columns and the mezzanine that was here, and all of these things just screamed Elizabethan playhouse. All Elizabethan playhouses had a thrust stage, as we have now, and they had very, very bright colors in them, and they had great big columns, just like the globe that we all have studied in school. So as soon as we walked in, we said, oh my gosh, it's the globe. This is for us. Chesapeake Shakespeare Company is about 12 years old, and we spent the first 10 years performing outdoors in Ellicott City at the PFI Historic Park. And our biggest dream after performing outdoors for a decade was to have a roof. And so now, at last, we have the most beautiful roof that we could possibly imagine.
It's wonderful to work out in the park, but, you know, you've got bugs, you've got weather, you've got helicopters flying by, and here we have none of that, strangely. We don't think that there's a right way of doing Shakespeare. We think there's a lot of right ways of doing Shakespeare. And so that's part of what we want to do, is find access points for different people. Some people find it through the language of Shakespeare. Some find it through the stories. Myself and other people find it through the comedy of Shakespeare. So it's our job in our productions of Shakespeare to produce them in a variety of ways so that we can provide the most access points for the most people, because we think Shakespeare should be accessible. We opened with Midsummer Night's Dream, which is a big, fun, family-friendly Shakespeare production with fairies and goofiness and all the rest of it. But there's a lot of stuff, a lot of facets to Shakespeare. So the next production is Richard II, which is not a very often produced Shakespeare play, but a beautiful play with extraordinary language. And we're doing that in a sort of a medieval setting, which is more traditional. Some people who like traditional settings will enjoy that. We're also going outside of Shakespeare, too. We're doing Christmas Carol, which we hope to be a tradition here in Baltimore every December. A couple of other non-Shakespeares, Chekhov, Uncle Vanya, and The Importance of Being Earnest, which is a very, very funny play. And then in the spring, we do Romeo and Juliet. And we not only do it in the evening, but we also do it for school groups, matinee performances during the week. So that for about 5 weeks, during April and I guess early May, we'll have school buses coming from across the region, depositing students here for a live production of Romeo and Juliet, which is a play that every student studies at one time or another, but few get a chance to see live.
If people wanted to find out more about what's going on with the company, where should they go?
Yeah, they should go to ChesapeakeShakespeare.com.
Thank you, Ian. Appreciate that a whole lot. Now, let's go back to you in the studio.